Hi, Anita. Okay. Well, Anita, northern Minnesota, who could figure you'd have sweater weather right now? Simply crazy weather that we're having. Let's see. We'll just wait a few minutes or a minute or two and see how people come on. I'm guessing August, vacation time, personal time. Oh, okay. We've got Jenny here. Hello, Jenny from California. Yay. Always glad to see both of you. All right. Well, I'm wondering, Jenny and Anita, are you watching from your sewing room? Are you working on projects as you tune in to the SCHMETZ Snippet Live today? Okay, well, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and just get started because we've all got schedules to keep and things to do. And let me see here. All right. So, welcome to SCHMETZ Snippet Live. I'm Rhonda Pierce, and I'm delighted to be here. I'm in the Chicago area. It's not quite sweater weather, but yeah, it looks pretty cloudy and cool, although I think it's probably in the 80s. So, crazy weather that we're having all over the world, right? So last month, the mystery question was, do you get in a sewing or quilting rut? And if you do, what do you do to get out of it? So we had all kinds of answers. People belong to multiple sewing or quilting guilds. They're inspired by other members. Suzanne takes quilting classes. Patty hooks up with a quilting sister, and she always goes home with new ideas. Vicky says she belongs to a monthly ASG group, and her sewing friends are always working on fun projects. And let's see. Oh, Jana. Yeah, Jana says she checks out the SCHMETZ newsletter and Facebook page. Yep, so that's good. Let me see. There were some other comments that came in too. Well, Jenny, you mentioned that you like old quilting and sewing books, and you like and magazines to look for inspiration. Lindy says that she looks at her different piles of fabrics, and don't we have a few piles of fabric? Just waiting, just waiting. I call that seasoning. Becky says she subscribes to lots of newsletters. So, lots of ways to get inspiration, either in person with friends, with print, with online searching, etc. And then of course, by showing up here, we've got ideas. Okay, and our winner last month was Diane Deacon from Tinley Park, Illinois. And how does she get out of her sewing or quilting rut? Well, she tries to step out of her comfort zone, and lately she's been sewing vinyl bags and totes. So she's been having a lot of fun with that. So this month, to be considered in the SCHMETZ Snippet Live giveaway, you have to answer this question. Do you have fabric scraps, and what do you do with them? Do you make scrappy quilts, scrappy garments? Do you collect them for a rainy day? Or do you just toss because you have more than enough fabric? So I'm kind of thinking of myself. What do I do with scrappy fabrics? Well, I do make occasional scrappy quilts, and sometimes I toss them. Maybe if I don't really like that fabric. Yeah, I kind of collect. So, like right now, I have a big bag of knit and sweater scrappy quilt. So hopefully I'll get to those someday. Now, if you received the SCHMETZ newsletter, I want to bring to your attention that in the newsletter, oh no, wait, first I want to talk about Facebook. So if you're on SCHMETZneedles, all one word, on Facebook, you probably saw Rita Farrow with some of her Franken sewing. So Rita is in Iowa. We work together and we are personal friends too. And on July 26th on Facebook, she posted that she had repainted a really boring dresser. And she added bright colors, bold colors, and created a modern design. And she's had it for several years now. And she decided, you know what, I want to make a dress with the same attitude as the paint job that she had on that dresser. So if you go to July 25th and July 26th, you can see that dresser and her inspiration. And then on July 31st on SCHMETZneedles Facebook page, she actually writes commentary that she was married for 52 years. And for 40 years, they lived in the same house. Her husband died, I think that was 2021. And so in 2022, she moved into a co op apartment and she realized, oh my goodness, how much sewing really influenced her life. And that's where that. I mean, who knew that furniture could inspire the garments that you make? So I hope you take a look on Facebook, July 25, 26, and July 31 for Rita's very creative, inspirational pieces. So take a look at that. All right. Now, last month I was in New Orleans for Baby Lock or for Bernina University, and I had special guests. So, and I was so pleased that you liked the guests. And we had Frank and Ralph from the Golden Rule, also known as the Lutteral design system. And I was so pleased that in the comments that several of you had already bought that system and also that you use this system and you love it. So give that system a try. You could go back, let's see, the last, that was July 1st when I went live. So you can catch that on Facebook. The Stacy from So Steady was there, along with Sarah of Serendipity. Lots of great comments about them. Mike from The Greatest of All Totes. That was fun. Andrew was there from, and Jennifer from Wonderful. And Jennifer there was also Paul Leger from Canada. I hope I pronounced that right. Leger. He's a Bernina ambassador, and we see each other frequently on the road. Lots of fun. Benartex was there, and yeah, they showed an apron that was really lots of fun. And then G Street Fabrics was there. So lots of different interviews. I hope you learned a few things. And also, oh, okay. Oh, okay, finally. Maybe there's a delay in the comments here. Finally, I'm seeing some things here. So Debbie's from Bloomington, Illinois. Well, I was in your area not too long ago, just a few weeks ago. Janice saying no vacation time here. It's the busiest time of for her at work. Okay, so yeah. 2.5 weeks ago, I was in Hudson, Illinois for Hudson Sewing Studio. They had a 2.5-day sewing expo, and I gave 5 presentations to them. And if you get the SCHMETZ newsletter, well, I included links to 2 different videos that Sophia had made. And the one video shows my scrappy quilt that took almost 20 years to make because I had made 15 quilts one year, saved the scraps, and then made a little quiltlet with Fangles, 1-inch half square triangles. And then the second video was for Hawaiian fabric, a variety of Hawaiian fabric that my sister had picked up when she was there several years ago. And I show how I included a handmade, beautifully handmade doily that my grandma had made many years ago, and I used it as a pocket. So get the newsletter, or if you didn't, if you don't receive the newsletter, go to SCHMETZneedles.com under resources, and under the newsletter archive, you can see both of these videos. So that was a lot of fun, talking about those quilts that I made a couple years ago. Oops, let me see. Let me move this out of the way. So in the newsletter, I also had a link to a word search, a little activity sheet, because I know oftentimes, sometimes you might belong to a guild. You're looking for a free giveaway, or maybe if you're having a luncheon or an activity, maybe you want something that everybody can participate with. So this is a word search using all the different types of SCHMETZ needles, so that people learn that there's more than just a universal needle. So we've got top stitch, microtex, etc., and they're all hidden here in the word search puzzle. So it's fun, it's free, it's a little learning tool. Plus we have match the fabric with the needle. We've got some true and false. And then on the back side, we've got the facts about SCHMETZ needles. So again, you can go to the newsletter. You can download this, or go to SCHMETZneedles.com under resources, and you can just print out 100 copies if that's what you need. Just print it. There's no charge for it. So just something free and fun, because don't we like free every once in a while? Free with no strings attached. Oh, Karen's saying that she's blinking off and on. Yeah, I don't know. Could be the weather too. Nancy's watching from Iowa. We've got Annette watching from Atlanta, Georgia. Fantastic. Marie's here from Florida. Dolores from Washington, D.C. And again, from Washington, D.C., you've got G Street Fabrics. And wow, I shopped there many, many times when I lived in the New York City area, and went to visit cousins and aunts and uncles in the Baltimore area. So always loved G Street Fabrics. Karen from North Carolina. Anita says she gets overwhelmed with scraps for sure. I want to get them all bundled up and create. She's at lunch break on work right now, and she did trim up some leaves this morning for a cute fall project. Okay. Maybe that's an applique project. So back to our newsletter. Let's see. Okay, if you joined us, I'll just repeat the question again. To be entered into the newsletter, to be entered into the SCHMETZ Snippet giveaway, you need to answer, do you have fabric scraps? And what do you do with them? Do you make scrappy quilts? Do you make scrappy garments? Maybe you collect them for a rainy day, or maybe you just toss them. So I kind of do all of the above. I've made quilts and garments. I've tossed some, and yeah, I do save them for a rainy day too. So no right or wrong answer, just let us know. Okay, Original Sewing and Quilt Expo is starting up again. So if you're in these areas, you want to try and make it to to their event, to their vendors mall, and also to their classes. I'm not teaching this year at Original Sewing and Quilt Expo, but I plan to be on their agenda again next year. So that's 2027. And wow, this is August. Is the year flying by? I'm looking, I've got like 2 more weeks that are kind of not stressful as far as work goes. And then starting in September, early September, I'm full force again. I'm on the road and have all kinds of commitments. And I'm not complaining. I like to be busy and contribute and to help people out. But yeah, leisure time is almost over. And then also Textile Talks. Again, they're at 2 o'clock Eastern time. The first every Wednesday, so you could participate in that. You could attend that. So this month, or this Wednesday, so later today, it's Beyond the Surface with Studio Visit. So that is sponsored by the Surface Design Association. So I'm sure that'll be quite creative and insightful. So give that a try. All right, let me see. Okay, Southern Belle from Ohio. What is today's date? What is today's date? August 5th. Okay. Jenny has piles of scraps waiting. Yes, don't we all? Vicky's from Iowa, waiting for a storm to roll through. Yeah, Vicky, I think your storm will probably be moving through my area here in the Chicago area, probably later this afternoon, a couple hours after it hits you. All right, so if you've got a SCHMETZ question, go ahead and put that in the chat. I didn't really get a lot of, well, I only got one advanced question. And that was from Jana. So if you've got a question, a SCHMETZ needle question, go ahead and post that in the chat, and I will try to answer it. Okay, so Jana was asking that she's going to be doing foundation paper piecing with batik fabrics. I love batik fabrics. I know many of us do. Batik fabrics, even if you pre-wash your batik fabrics, oftentimes they're still tightly woven and they can still have dye residue. But that batik fabric, you want a sharp needle. So I always suggest microtex, especially size 80-12. But Jana says that she's going to be doing foundation paper piecing, and she's going to be working with a very fine polyester thread, an 80 weight. So what needle should she use? So I'm going to suggest microtex, yes, probably a size 70-10. Now, you might try, Jana, a microtex size 60/8, but I think because you're going to be going through that paper also, that probably the size 70/10 will be the appropriate size. You could try a quilting needle, also size 75/11. The quilting needle has a special tapered point, so it is it's going to go through all those layers really quite well. And the quilting needle only comes in two sizes, so the 75/11 and the 90/14. So I would try the quilting 75/11, but my first choice is microtex size 70-10. So again, like any project that you're working with, we work with different fabrics, different threads, different fabrications, different machines, and sometimes you just have to test. So again, foundation paper piecing with batiks, my first choice is a microtex size 70-10, followed by microtex 60/8, followed by quilting 75/11. So see what works for you. All right. Well, the comments aren't rolling through. Okay. Let's see. All right. So on Facebook, on Facebook on July 30th, was that last week? Was that last Thursday, I think? I posted about Grab It magnetic pin cushions, and I had that pretty picture of the different colors of Grab It magnetic pin cushions all lined up, ready to be boxed up. And I asked, oh, what's your favorite color? Well, my favorite color is the yellow. I call it limoncello yellow, just because I like limoncello. So this is the bright lemon color. Now, I'll also just do a little demonstration in case you don't know. When you buy your Grab It, it comes in a box like this, and there's a little cover on top of the Grab It magnetic pin cushion. Don't throw this away. Because if you throw this, if you throw your Grab It in a tote or a sewing basket, you want to protect the pins from spilling out and traveling all over into your bag. So keep this little plastic cover handy, or maybe you want to put the plastic cover in your sewing room to protect your Grab It magnetic pin cushion from dust. Yeah, I have dust in my sewing room, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. So, the Grab It magnetic pin cushion. So, I showed a variety of solid colors. So, red, of course. Somebody had mentioned teal, and yes, we still have a few teals available. So, if you want teal, you better get on it because I don't think we're gonna repeat that color. Blue is always popular. We've got the black. And one thing I like to say about the black is that if this is a great gift for a guy, of course, the guy could like any color, doesn't matter. But I think of black as more of a home deck color, a kind of a statement color. So maybe it could collect paper clips, nails, screws, things that are in our junk drawer or maybe in workshops, etc. So that several people mentioned that they really love the lime green. And I'm so happy about that because it's such a happy color. It's a cheerful full color. And then, of course, blue is always popular, and we've got purple too. I already showed the purple. Now, we did have the swirly colors. So there's the reddish and there's the black and white. And we only have a couple more of these that are available. So if you want the Grab It magnetic pin cushion in one of these two swirly colors, you better get them quick because we will not be manufacturing these. So the black and white or the red swirl. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention because I think there's less than 2 on the one color and less than 6 on the other. So keep that in mind. Maybe you're thinking of Christmas gifts already. I know I am. Let me see. Karen says that she watches YouTube and has works with American Sewing Guild. They have great ideas too. Sherry says, she's happy to report that she finished the Stitcher's Garden quilt. Fantastic. Yay, Sherry. Karen says she has to check out her local American Sewing Guild. All right. Yeah. Okay. Marianne says she's always looking. She looks at art for inspiration. Yeah. Art in whatever format that might be. Could be paintings. It could be ceramics. It could be watercolors. You don't know. Could be lawn art. The way you mow your lawn, gardening, etc. So, Debbie says that she saw me last month at Hudson Sewing Studio. Yay! Well, thanks for joining me again today then. Okay. Anita's shopping for fun fabrics to get out of a low time. Yeah, fabrics can do that. They can perk up your attitude. So, and let's see. DSKW is making charity quilts with scrappy fabrics. Good idea too. Okay. Let me see what else I have. Okay. Now, this morning, this was not part of my plan today, but I'm going to talk about it. But first, I'll give you the question again. If you want to win today's random drawing, you need to answer the question, do you have fabric scraps? And what do you do with them? Do you collect them for a rainy day? Do you toss them or something in between? Maybe you make, Janet says she makes fabric collages, or she's making one right now. DSKW says that she's making charity quilts. So there's no wrong or right answer. We've all got scraps. So what do you do with them? So that enters you into today's giveaway. Speaking of the giveaway, before I move forward, let's just go through the goodies I've got for you. Hey, SCHMETZ is celebrating 175 years. So I've got this cute little tote, and I want to bring this to your attention because many of you know, if you've been with me for a while, and I know many of you have, during the holidays, I always have a special gift, and it will be celebrating 175 years. And I'll give you a little tease. It's a tin. So in order to learn about the holiday gift for this year, you need to subscribe to the SCHMETZneedles newsletter because we only offer it to our newsletter subscribers. So how do you do that? You're going to go to SCHMETZneedles.com, and after about 10 seconds, one of those pop-ups says sign up for the newsletter. So sign up for the newsletter and you'll be informed to when the holiday tin is available. So I'm thinking after Halloween, the tin will be featured in the newsletter. So, yep. Big anniversary year, 175 years for SCHMETZ that has been serving our sewing public. All right. Speaking of SCHMETZ, of course, I've got a variety of SCHMETZ needles that will be given away, along with the ABC Pocket Guide, the luggage tag, etc. I've got our friends from Taylor Seville has the Taylor's Chalk. And one thing I'm seeing right now is that there's more and more garment sewing. So I'm really excited about that. And speaking of garment sewing, from our friends at Stoff Fabrics in the Scandinavian company, I've got 3 cuts of these different fabrics. So I always love the Stoff fabric. So maybe you could combine these or make a little top from them for yourself or maybe for a friend. From our friends at Kimberbell, I have the Happiness Grows wall hanging. So this is machine embroidery. That would be fun to do. From our friends at Nancy Zeman and Clover, I've got the Trace and Create bag. So this is a pretty big template right here. And wow, there's, let's see, there's about 4 different, there's multiple styles of different bags, 3 different bags that you can make using this template. So this is a Clover product from our friends at Stitch It Sisters, which is the Nancy Zeman Sewing Studio in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin. We've got a Grab It magnetic pincushion, and this is actually the last blue swirly. So lucky winner today gets that. A little bobbin saver for all our little bobbins, whether they're plastic or metal. From our friends at Hobbs, I've got the 80/20 batting. So this is the heirloom batting. It's bleached cotton, and let's see, what's the size on this? What's the size? This is queen, so 90 by 108. So for you quilters, we always need batting, right? From our friends at Shannon Fabrics, look at this. I have a cut. Yep, in a darker color. So you could maybe line a quilt, a fabric quilt, a cotton quilt with this, or maybe you could make a little wrap or maybe some little cowl scarves for multiple friends. So you've got options with this. What size is this? This is 60 inches wide. So it's 60 inches wide and a 2-yard cut. So you could do quite a few small projects out of this. And what needle are you going to use with this? Yep, you're going to use Stretch 9014. Stretch 9014. That'll make a huge difference in your sewing success. And I think this might be the last needle travel guide I have for 2026. I hope you've been able to get out and shop hop throughout the country with a different fabric and fiber store. So this is always a helpful little guide. It's updated every year. So somebody will win that. And then I have my little box of SCHMETZneedles. This is actually an industrial box, but I have it filled with a variety of SCHMETZneedles. I think I've got about a dozen or more different types of needles in here. And of course, Stretch 9014 is always in here. Let's see, where is it? Right here. Stretch 9014 for sewing with the Shannon Fabrics or with Minky. Okay, so let me see here. I think Let me see if there are any other questions that have come in. And let me see here. Dolores says she makes scrappy garments and accessories. Yes. Marianne says she uses scraps for small projects and for test strips for different projects. Yeah, good idea, Marianne. Yeah, because sometimes you need to test your stitch, the needle, and the thread, and just see if you get the quality stitch that you are expecting. Nancy says if the scraps are too small, she'll toss them, but she's also uses them for English paper piecing and for applique. Kelly says she makes scrappy pouches out of most of her scraps. Oh, good. Anita says paper piecing is her next technique that she's going to try. Okay. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're responding, that you're answering, because you never know what's going to inspire somebody else, and maybe you'll be inspired too. Let's see. Debbie has lots of scraps yet to make a scrappy quilt. She usually uses the scrap for smaller zipper bags. Yeah, I could use a I should make my own bag. I do water aerobics 3 times a week, and uh, I've got a little, it's actually a purse, but I use it to carry my skincare products, and it's getting a little scrappy. I need to replace it. So maybe I should make my own bag with scraps, of course. All right. Oh my goodness. I see lots of comments coming in. Anita said she watched the videos from the newsletter. Yay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So let me see. I don't see any questions, but I'm glad to see all your responses. Cindy says she saves strips that are 3/4 of an inch wide. Oh, for wrapping rope balls. Oh, that's a great idea. I like that. Janice says, I hope the newest tin will allow for keeping the needle cards upright. Fingers crossed. Well, Jana, it'll keep your needles upright. Not so sure that will happen, but I'm pretty sure you're going to like that tin. Okay. All right. Let me see. Oh, good. Lots of comments. Nancy says she loves Cuddle Fabric. Awesome travel book. Brenda says you can never have too many needles. Oh, okay. Liz says she took a bunch of SCHMETZ needles to give to her daughter when she visited in Vermont. She had trouble with breaking the metallic thread, and you suggested the metallic needle. Very good. Liz, the other thing I'll just mention about the metallic needle is that the SCHMETZ top stitch needle is the very same needle as a metallic. So you could use metallic or a top stitch, and it has that, both needles have that elongated eye. So there's less stress on your thread as it's passing through the eye of the needle. So yeah, you want that elongated eye. So again, there's less breakage. All right. Here's a question. Casey is asking, is there a way to tell if your needle needs to be replaced? Can you feel it getting dull? Is there a test you can do? So Casey, here's what you can do. One of two things. You can take your slightly used needle and run it across your fingernail. If it leaves a scratch on your nail, you know you've got a burn, you need to toss the needle. Or if you've got a pair of old hose or maybe a knit fabric, run the needle across the fabric. If it snags the fabric, guess what? You've got a burn, you need to toss it. So while you're sewing, some clues would be that your thread is breaking and shredding. So you need to change out the needle. If your fabric is puckering or the needle is snagging your fabric, or in a severe case, the needle tucks the fabric into your throat plate, those are clues that you need to change out the needle. If you, oh my goodness, I'm losing. What about your stitch quality? Are your stitches skipping? Are your seams uneven? Or maybe you're sewing and your stitches look kind of wiggly squiggly. Hey, those are clues that you need to change out the needle. And then one other clue is there a sound when the stitch is actually made, when the needle is actually passing through the fabric? Is there a clicking sound, a popping sound, or in a severe case, a clunk, clunk, clunk? So those are all clues that you need to change out the needle. So I always suggest you have a little pack of spare needles handy. If you're like me, I like to sew at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So it's good to have a stash. So Casey, thanks for asking that question. Okay. Well, let me see. Oh, Debbie says she's sewing with satin binding on the sides of a tote bag, thick seams and suggestions. You know what I would try first is that super nonstick, super universal needle, because you're making a tote bag. You've got multiple layers, and that extra large eye might be, I'm going to assume that you're working with a heavier thread too. So I would try that super nonstick, super universal. Otherwise, you're going to have to kind of test needles. Maybe I don't know if a jeans needle would work, especially with satin, because that jeans needle, once it goes through the satin, it might actually break the fiber and create runs. You might try a microtex size 90 14 and see if that works. So I think you're just going to have to test, and my concern would be that satin binding, that it doesn't run when the stitch is made. But again, I would first start with that super nonstick, super universal needle. Okay, so Nancy's asking, so the thicker the layers, the larger the needle. Generally, that's true. So here's my rule of thumb. So 40 weight thread is the most common weight of thread, doesn't matter what the brand is. And generally with 40 weight thread, I use an 80-12 needle. So now if I'm going to be working with multiple layers and a heavier thread, I know I need at least a size 90-14. Or maybe if I'm sewing through denims or maybe some upholstery fabric, I might have to size up to a size 100. So sometimes you just have to test. Yeah, the heavier the fabrics or the more layers that you've got, generally you need to size up your needle. Okay, so Anita says she loves gifting little gift baskets with all the things, saves money and makes her happy. So thank you very much. Okay, let me see. Oh my goodness. Okay, any more? Oh my goodness, are there more questions here? Karen is asking, a sharp needle with a larger eye for satin and lots of layers. Yeah, again, try that microtex. The generic name for microtex is a sharp needle. So that would be a microtex. So the size 90 is the largest size that the microtex is available in. Okay, so Paul is in our remote office. And he has, oh, wait a minute. There was one more thing I wanted to bring to your attention, because this came in my email today, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to share it. How many of you belong to shows, sew, SEW, share.com? So that was the May SCHMETZ Snippet Live, and Julie and Ursula were there talking about their company, Sew Share, an online sewing community. And this morning they sent out the results of a test that they did. And the test was about seam allowances, especially when you're making garments. Do you like to buy a pattern with the seam allowance or not? And I actually participated in that survey, and I do like patterns with the 5/8 seam allowance. And I was in the majority that like the seam allowance included. There was almost 65% of their participants like the seam allowance in their commercial patterns. But they also pointed out that when this seam allowance is not provided, it actually allows you to fit better, and and your accuracy on fit can be more precise. So I thought that was really interesting. So if you, and then they were talking about Berta style patterns, and I do love Berta style patterns. I have some, I've made some up, and yeah, Berta style generally does not have seam allowances, but you know what? I think, did I read that for the US market or North American market, they do sometimes have seam allowances. So you might want to check that out. So go to sewshare.com, and maybe you'll have access to that survey. I know they do surveys every once in a while, and hey, always learn something. Okay, so let me see who our winner is today. Brenda says she has to sign up. Oh, Anita says she is a member of SoShare, and Karen's a member too. Okay, fantastic. I'm so glad to see that. All right, let me see who our winner is today. Our winner today is watching from YouTube, and it's Annette Wade. Annette Wade in Atlanta, and she says she uses scraps to make quilt as you go baby quilts. Quilt as you go baby quilts. So Annette Wade, you are our winner today. So what you need to do is send an email with your shipping address to info@SCHMETZneedles.com, and we'll get all these goodies shipped out to you. So I want to thank each of you for being here today. Let's see, I've been on for about 42 minutes. So if you're on lunch break, well, I hope you have 18 more minutes to lunch, and I hope that you can find sewing time. My next SCHMETZ snippet will be Wednesday, September 2nd, and I think I'll be here in the Chicago office. Meantime, if you've got questions, go ahead. You could post those for the specific SCHMETZ snippet, or you know what, send me a question via email at info@SCHMETZneedles.com, and I'll answer it on September 2nd at the next SCHMETZ snippet live. So again, Annette Wade in Atlanta is our winner today, and send me an email at info@SCHMETZneedles.com. Okay, everybody, thank you for being here. Stay warm, stay cool, be comfortable, and keep on stitching with SCHMETZ needles. I'll see you soon. So SCHMETZ, bye-bye.